Hey everyone, it's James from Hawaii Wedding Studio, and welcome to my podcast. Every week I publish a deep dive blog on my website specifically designed for couples that are planning to get married on Oahu. To give you a fresh perspective on the topics, I've had my digital research team analyze the latest blog post and discuss the highlights and hidden gems. They've done all the data crunching, and I've done the officiating. So let's listen in on what they found this week.
Ruling back, trying to talk into facts. Stay a while, press and play. You're smart, great, every day.
Okay, I want you to close your eyes for a second. Just go to a dark place with me.
Oh boy.
Imagine planning a wedding. You can see the spreadsheets, right? The seating charts where you can't put Aunt Linda next to Cousin Steve because of the incident.
The incident of 2018. We don't talk about that.
We do not. And, the sheer panic of watching your bank account just evaporate into a cloud of fondant and flowers.
You are painting a very, very stressful picture. I mean, my cortisol levels are spiking just listening to you. It's the classic wedding nightmare.
Exactly. It's universal. Now, open your eyes. Imagine waking up, looking at your partner, and just saying, hey, let's get married today.
And then actually doing
it. No stress, no Aunt Linda, just a beach, a sunset, and a guy named James.
That sounds like a fantasy. Or at the very least, a logistical mess that ends in a courthouse basement.
Usually, yes.
Yeah.
But today, we are diving into a stack of research that suggests otherwise. We're looking at the Hawaii Wedding Studio and its frontman, Reverend James Chun.
And looking at these sources, the reviews, the pricing, all of it, this feels like more than a business review. It's a case study.
It's a life hack, a cheat code for getting married.
I was going to say it's a fascinating model for what I'm calling chill aloha matrimony.
Chill aloha matrimony. I love that. So our mission today is to figure out if this hype is real. Can you really be that spontaneous?
And is it actually romantic? Or does it just feel, transactional?
Right. Well, let's get into the evidence. And I think the best place to start is with this idea of the flash wedding.
Mm-hmm. We have a review here from a woman named Serene Lopez that, honestly, it stopped me in my tracks.
Oh, the spontaneity factor. Okay. Yes, we have to talk about Serene. This review is wild.
It's a standout data point for sure.
She says, and this is the direct quote, "We eloped very last minute. Had the idea in the morning, got married by afternoon."
Just let that sink in for a second.
Morning idea, afternoon wedding. I can't even get a dinner reservation that fast. I struggle to decide what to order for lunch in that time.
But they got married. Yeah. Legally.
And that's the thing. It wasn't just a legal transaction. She specifically says James was extremely accommodating and made the whole thing very romantic.
That is the key detail, isn't it?
It has to be. Because you can go to a drive-thru in Vegas, sure. But she said the speech and vows were beautiful. It didn't feel like fast food.
Exactly. And operationally, it's incredibly impressive. To pull this off, Reverend Chun has to be doing more than just showing up.
Right.
He's facilitating the paperwork. The source says it was filed the same day. That implies a really deep knowledge of the Hawaii state system.
Which is usually where romance goes to die, let's be honest. Government paperwork is usually soul-crushing, not romantic, but he's somehow streamlined it.
Well, it speaks to his experience. We know he's been doing this in Hawaii since 1999. He's not a rookie.
1999, that's pre-iPhone. That's longer than most celebrity marriages.
Significantly. And that experience also plays into another side of spontaneity.
Yeah.
Adaptability.
Yeah.
It's not just about speed.
You mean rolling with the punches?
Right. Look at the review from Lindsay Joseph.
Oh, the indecisive bride. I felt so seen by this one. I really did.
She admits she changed the location multiple times. Now, for most wedding vendors, that is a complete nightmare scenario.
That's when you get hit with change fees, or they just ghost you.
Exactly. But Lindsay says Reverend Chun was so flexible, calm, patient, helpful. It seems like his whole business model is built to absorb chaos, not fight it.
Which brings us to the vibe check.
The vibe check.
Because if you're getting married on a beach, you don't want some high-strung coordinator shouting into a headset. You want the aloha spirit.
And that is the recurring theme in almost every single review we looked at, the calm archetype. It just appears over and over again.
It really does. Bridget Rice calls it a calming presence and his genuine warmth. He's like a human sedative, but in a good way.
And Lindell, I think this is one of the most practical reviews, calls him a great fella.
A great fella. I love that. That's high praise.
But Lindell adds this one crucial detail. He says, Reverend Chun helps you out if you happen to forget your words.
Okay, that is my number one fear. Standing there, love of your life in front of you, beautiful ocean, and my brain just goes to static. I take the, what's your name again?
It happens. High emotion adrenaline. So having an officiant who can basically feed you your lines, subtly, it's a massive safety net.
It's like having a co-pilot who knows how to fly the plane if you pass out.
Exactly. He's got you. But here's where it gets really interesting to me. The, what I would call the micro-celebrity factor.
You're talking about the YouTube channel.
I am.
Yes. Randy and Tiama's review. This is amazing. They said they spent days watching his YouTube videos and crying before they even met him.
That is such a fascinating psychological element. We'd call that a parasocial relationship.
Right.
So by the time they arrive in Hawaii, he isn't some stranger they hired online. He's already this trusted, emotional figure in their story.
They were pre-crying. That's just efficiency. Get the crying out of the way early.
Or it just primes the emotional pump, They said even though he's done thousands of weddings, he made them feel like theirs was the only one that mattered.
And that is the magic trick, right? Making the routine feel unique.
It is the mark of a true professional. And speaking of being professional, we should probably talk about the menu.
Oh, yes. The business side of things, because usually you say wedding in Hawaii in the same sentence and your credit card just bursts into flames.
It is notoriously expensive, but the pricing here is, well, it's just starkly transparent.
It's on the menu, literally. None of that inquire for pricing stuff where the answer is your firstborn child.
No, it's very specific. A ceremony, Monday through Thursday, is $299.
$299. I've spent more than that at the grocery store. I've bought sneakers that cost more than that.
And Friday to Sunday, it goes up to $349.
A $50 weekend surcharge. I can live with that.
And what I really appreciate is the transparency about the unsexy costs, like the permits.
Right, the beach permit. He lists it. Permit paperwork fee, $150.
And he explains why. Public beaches require permits. If you try to skip this, you risk getting fined or kicked off the beach mid-vow.
Oh, can you imagine? I take thee, Rachel, to be my... Excuse me, sir, you need to move it along.
Exactly. So he's framing compliance as a service.
Yeah.
He's saying, I will deal with the bureaucracy so you don't get arrested in your wedding dress.
I would pay double for that service. Anti-arrest insurance.
Then you've got the travel fees, which are actually a pretty good geography lesson of Oahu.
I loved this part. It's like a price map of the island.
It really is. It shows his range. East and west sides are the $50 fee. But if you want to go to the North Shore...
The famous North Shore, big waves, food trucks.
That'll cost you a bit more. $100 to $150 depending on how far you go.
Love knows no bounds, but it does have a mileage surcharge.
Which is fair. Hawaii traffic is no joke.
Uh-huh.
But even with all that, you're looking at a total cost, maybe under $700 all in.
It's just wildly accessible. But let's pivot back for a sec. We know he's affordable and we know he's nice. But is he? Good.
The sources suggest he goes way beyond the basic job description. I'd call him a multi-hyphenate minister.
A fixer. Like the wolf in Pulp Fiction, but for weddings and with more aloha.
A much calmer version, certainly. Look at the story from Lynn and Steven. This one really stood out.
Is this the tripod story? I love this visual.
It is. They arrive for an intimate ceremony, just them, and they're struggling to set up a tripod to film it themselves.
Which is so stressful. You're fiddling with the legs, the angle's wrong, you're sweating.
And James just steps in. He offers to take their photos. And then, this is the kicker, he records the entire ceremony on his own cell phone for them.
Wait. How does he do that? He's officiating and filming? Is he an octopus?
The logistics aren't detailed, but the point is he saw a problem. He saw they were stressed about capturing the moment, and he took that burden away.
I got you. I'll roll tape. You just get married.
Exactly. And he's a connector, too. Several reviews mention him recommending photographers. Ki Chan used one he suggested, Rina Osedo.
Which is huge. If you're flying in from somewhere else, you're just trusting Google Roulette otherwise.
Mm-hmm. It creates this whole ecosystem of trust. And sometimes he's not just a connector, he's a coach.
A wedding coach. I love it.
Chris and Edith mentioned he coached them on cues, what to do next. It sounds simple, but people need that direction.
We do. We're just sheep in formal wear. We freeze up.
We really are. And he also handles things like weather. Chris and Edith had to call him 2 days before to switch venues.
And he just rolled with it.
Total flexibility. It's the whole town versus country distinction in his packages. He's got a portfolio of locations ready to go no matter what happens.
Town being like Waikiki hotels and country being oceanfront, secluded.
He covers the whole spectrum. But the elopements really seem to be his sweet spot.
That's where the James Chun model shines.
I agree. The sources all point to him guiding couples through the online marriage license process, making sure it's done right. That's the unglamorous backbone of this whole thing.
So let's try to synthesize this. What are we actually looking at here? It's not just a guy reading a script.
No. If I had to boil it down, I'd say James Chun and the Hawaii Wedding Studio. They aren't selling a ceremony. They're selling peace of mind.
His marketing actually says that, doesn't it?
It does. You're not just booking a wedding officiant. You're booking peace of mind. And unlike most marketing slogans, the data actually backs it up.
Every story is about stress reduction. He filed the papers, he took the photo, he told me my lines when I forgot.
He is the antidote to the bridezilla meltdown. The modern wedding industry is built on anxiety. It tells you you're not doing enough.
It's an anxiety machine.
And James Chun seems to operate on the opposite premise. You have a license, a partner, and a beach. You're good.
He brings the aloha spirit, the legal permits, and apparently the tissues.
And for the people crying at his YouTube videos beforehand.
A full-service emotional operation.
It really challenges the whole assumption that more is better, that a good wedding has to be this massive, expensive production.
Right. I mean, look at Serene Lopez again. Woke up, had an idea, married by sunset. Was her wedding any less real than one that cost $50,000?
The data would suggest it might have been even more romantic because it was focused entirely on the couple, not the production.
So that brings us to the verdict.
The verdict.
In a world that's so overproduced and stressful, isn't the James Chun model the ultimate luxury?
There's a really strong argument for that. True luxury is the absence of worry.
Mm-hmm.
If you can pay a few $100s and have a veteran professional handle everything, the logistics, the legal stuff, the vibe, so you can just be present. That's a level of freedom most couples never get.
They're too busy worrying if the chicken is cold.
Exactly. The ultimate luxury is just being present.
And he might even take your photo for you.
Being present is the product.
So here's something for you to chew on, listener. We spend so much time optimizing everything, planning every detail. What if the best way to do the biggest thing in your life is to just let go?
And what if the perfect wedding isn't something you build, but something you just allow to happen?
With a little help from a guy who knows where the permit office is?
Exactly.
Something to think about while I go check flight prices to Oahu.
Don't forget that North Shore surcharge.
I'll keep it in mind.
I hope you enjoyed that breakdown. While the hosts are great at spotting trends, remember that they haven't stood on the sands of Waimanalo or felt the breezes at Makapu'u like I have for the last 3 decades. Now you can find the full original blog post on my website, complete with photos and more details at hawaiiweddingminister.com. And if you're planning a wedding on Oahu, let's make it effortless. Until next time, aloha.